In this video, I will demonstrate how to take data from a Google Sheets document and to create a chart within Google Sheets, a chart, say, like this chart right here, and copy that chart and paste it into a document in Google Docs, such as, say, a lab report. Okay, so with this data here, and again, this is just an imaginary scenario where we're trying to determine the best way to get good fuel economy in our car, and also to cool the car very well. And so we compared air conditioning versus driving with the air conditioning one, and with driving with the windows down and the air conditioning off, and then also driving at 45 miles per hour and 60 miles per hour. We have two different factors here. One is how we choose to cool the car, and the other is how fast we drive the car. And so what I want to do is I want to create a chart for how I choose to cool the car, and then also how fast I'm driving. So what I've done is I've created two smaller charts that kind of collect all the data. The first chart here, you can see, deals with the speed that the car is going. So I just type this in. I type this in. This number right here, as you can see, is the average of the two. So it's B6 and B20. B6 is the average fuel economy for a car driven at 45 with AC on, and B20 is the average fuel economy for a car driven at 45 with the windows down. And so we basically just average these two numbers, and it gives us this fuel economy for the entire experiment at 45 miles per hour. We did the same thing for temperature. We do the same thing for 60 degrees. And then I created another chart, a different chart, that's going to show me the results for how I choose to cool the car, windows down or using the AC. Now, that's the chart that I already have down here. Okay, so you can see that the AC creates a fuel economy of 31.25. The windows down creates a fuel economy of 29.45. Now, these bars, the blue bars, they use this axis over here, the fuel economy, you can see, and purple measures temperature difference, and so that's over here on the right side. You'll notice that I have two different axes, so we want our chart to have the same thing going on. Okay, so I've already got the blue one done. Now I'm going to do a chart with this information right here. Okay, so again, it has the two factors, 45 and 60. It has the two fuel economies averages and the two temperature differences averages. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this entire box, and then I'm going to tell sheets rather that I want to insert a chart. Okay, it says recommended charts here. I want another column chart. Okay, so far so good. The data, it's already figured it out because I highlighted it, and we're good here. Again, we like the chart that we have, and finally we have to customize it. This is where we're going to do most of the work. All right, now the first section here is called chart. You'll notice that there's a section for axis and series as well. We're doing the entire chart. So I don't like that chart title. The chart title should explain what's happening here. So what we're measuring here is what's the difference between driving 45 and 60. So I'm just going to call it very shorthand. I'm going to say the effects of speed. Okay. If you wanted to go with a long title, you could say effects of speed on fuel economy and temperature difference. But I think that's too much. So I'm gonna leave it just like that. Now the legend is over here. I'm actually on the other one. The legend was at the top. I want to get rid of the legend. I'm gonna leave it there for now, just to remind myself. But I'm gonna come back later, and I'm gonna get rid of that because I'm gonna have what I need to know along the axes. Okay, that's all I care to write about for the chart. The chart section talks about the title and the legend. And again, we'll get rid of the legend. I'm going to put it up top right now. We'll get rid of it in just a little bit. Okay. Now, the axis. All right, so right now we're talking about the horizontal axis. That's this guy down here. It's already labeled 45 miles per hour and 60 miles per hour. I do want to give it a title. I'm just going to call it speed. If I didn't already have miles per hour, I would write in parentheses miles per hour. But that's kind of silly right now because they're already listed in miles per hour. And that's all I care to change about that horizontal axis. Now let's talk about, well, the only other thing that I can highlight is the left vertical axis. You'll notice that it updated right there. Now I'm talking about this left vertical axis. Now right now it goes from 8 to 40, and this is serving for both sides of the graph, for the blue and the red. So it's mixing my miles per gallon, which is what's measured in blue, and the temperature in degrees, which is measured in red. I don't like that very much. So I want my own axis. I want an axis for each one of these. I'm actually going to come back to that left vertical. Let's go to the series real quick. Okay, so first we're talking about fuel economy. That's on the left side here. Okay, and the color for fuel economy is blue. I don't like that. I was using blue and purple for AC and windows down. So let's just pick a red. I've already got that dark one. Let's go maybe with a bright red. Ugh, they don't look very good together. Maybe a kind of a really burnt red. Okay, so we'll do fuel economy in red. Its axis, fuel economy, is going to be measured on the left side, and okay, I'm happy with that for right now. Let's talk about temperature difference. Okay, at this time, it's still measured on the left side, but because these are different units, I want to measure it on the other side. So for axis, I click right axis, done. Now it's over there, and we have, I think, a much better, well, we've got, each thing has its own side. Okay, so let's go back to the axes, the axis section. Let's talk about this left vertical axis. Right now, the left side only measures fuel economy. So I'm going to write fuel economy, and I'm going to put the units, miles per gallon. Now, you might notice, hey, we've already got that in the legend. That's okay. I'm going to get rid of it as soon as I finish both sides. So I want fuel economy. I want it to be the same color as the box, so it's obvious. So let's make it dark red. And I want it to show up better, so I'm going to make it in bold. I'm going to increase the font size. You can do this however you'd like. I think that's much easier to read now. And min and max, I don't know about you guys. I like going from 0 and up. It gives 0 to 40. That looks good to me. It makes things kind of, it just provides better perspective, in my opinion. Okay, now on the other side, you can see this looks like we have a whole lot of difference here and just a little bit here. But if you look at the right side, they're not that far apart. 12 and 15. Again, I think if we look at, so let's look at the right vertical. We're going to talk about this side. I'm going to label it as well. I'm going to call it the temperature difference. I guess I should capitalize difference like I capitalized economy. We measure that in degrees Fahrenheit. All right, I'm going to make this the right color, red. I hope so anyway. I think it's that color maybe. Again, I'm going to make it bold, and I want to increase that font size so I can read it better. And let's talk about min and max. Again, I always like having 0 there as a good baseline. And I think it puts things in a lot better perspective. Okay, I think that's good. I think we've got everything labeled. I am going to change that horizontal axis. I want to increase the font size there as well. And let's make it bold too, so it's easy to read. Okay, and now, since I have both of my vertical axes labeled, I don't need this legend anymore, so I'm going to go to the legend and click on none. Okay, hit insert, and now I have this chart. I am going to move it so that it's not covering up my data, if I can find out how to do that. Okay, yep, when I see the hand I can drag it down. Okay, so I have one chart that shows the effects of speed, and the other chart shows the effects of cooling. I really need to get rid of that. It's kind of bothering me. Okay. Top, none. Get rid of that. Okay, very good. All right, now I want to get this into my document. So I already have a document open. These are my results. You might need to list your results as well. And now I want a chart. So I simply click on the chart, hit copy chart, go back to the experiment data, start, and then I'm going to hit edit, paste. Okay, it pops up. Now, you'll notice that it popped up down here. That's because it's very large. It wouldn't fit on this page. You need to work on some spacing, formatting issues. If you need to change the size of the chart, if you move the bottom right, it will actually keep it proportional. Now, this is probably too small, but I was just showing you how you can move it around. Okay, that's all that you need to do.